Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Quarbit, and how fast can you form Malaya? Realistically speaking, of course. The formation requirements are a little bit different now. You need to have 40 provinces in Malaya and Indonesia, and depending on whether you are Sunni or Hindu, the provinces you need will be different. So with a formable tag like this, technically you can form it at any time. But I want to see just how fast you could realistically form Malaya if you were, for some reason, going for that. After all, you do get a lot of claims, so maybe for that reason you might want to do it. But whatever the reason, I'm gonna try my best today to find out exactly how fast that is. Of course, this is in-game time, not actual time, because I will be using jump cuts to skip over the parts where I'm just thinking. But of course, to keep the integrity of the save, I will be playing on Iron Man. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to leave a like if you enjoy the video. I'm not sure how popular this kind of video will be, but let's start with 500 to see if we can get there. Now, I don't know if I'll be making more of these videos for the rest of the formables that don't have admin tech requirements, but if I do, then you can go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon to make sure you don't miss them. Now let's get started. I decided to go with Malacca for a couple of reasons. First of all, they're Sunni, which is a pretty strong religion, but on top of that, they don't actually have to take this one province, or whatever one it is, from Ayutthaya, which the Hindus actually do have to take. Ayutthaya is a tributary under Ming, and if I were playing as, say, Majapahit, then I definitely would not have that avenue. Secondly, Malacca has the most ships out of everyone who can form Malaya, and they have a very strong economy situation because they have so much money in the Malacca trade node. On top of that, our missions give us free CBs on basically the entire island of Nusantara, and a little bit of Majapahit, including this province here, which I require to form Malaya. Once I take this, then I can go ahead and take this, which is also required to form it, and hopefully those CBs will allow me to expand fast enough that I can get those 40 provinces. The only thing I don't have a plan for yet is actually grabbing Brunei, but I imagine if I go through Sambis it really shouldn't be that difficult. So we have a couple of things that we need to start off with real quick. First of all, I want to become a tributary under Ming. Second of all, I want my claim on Pahang here. And thirdly, I'm going to need to grab myself all of my men that I can have in my force limit. Next up, we're going to go ahead and do the estates, so I'll be back in a quick second. This is what the setup looks like to start off with. Just went ahead and grabbed religious states so that I could get a little bit more admin. But I don't want estates of statutory rights because I'm going to need as much money and manpower as I can get. Alright, this should be good enough to start off with. We'll start off by making Siak a vassal, and we'll declare war on Jambi. Well, that was quick. Well, there goes Jambi. And Pagaruyong. This guy isn't too expensive to outright annex, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Of course, I'll drag this development back to my capital. And I'll take Jambi as well. I'll take this development, then give both of these to my subject, and I'll take the development again. That's a bit of a trick if you didn't know that. On freshly conquered land you can concentrate it, then give it to a vassal and concentrate again. Not sure if it's intended, but it is a way to bypass the 50-year cooldown. Alright, let's not waste any time, we're gonna go after Pahang next. Okay, Ming has one rival, which is Ashikaga, so if I scornfully insult them, then I should get more influence with Ming himself, and so if I improve my relations a little bit more, then we should be able to become a tributary. There we go, now we are a tributary of Ming. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, then even if a coalition starts to form, then they can't attack us because we will have Big Daddy Ming over here protecting us from any sort of outside threats. Unless somehow we get Champa involved, and then it becomes a bit of a different story. Alright, now we can annex Kedah. There we go. Finally, our terrible ruler dies, which will let me grab my national unrest and a couple other things. Finally, Pasai will give up his alliance and a little bit of money. I'll come back for him in around 10 years. And then of course we can go ahead and take the rest of Pahang. So I get to use my mission here, and of course I'll go after Kelantan next. Just gotta make sure he doesn't get any rivals too quickly. We actually have this brief opportunity here to actually attack Patani as well, because Delhi will not help them, so let's do that. The reason I'm grabbing these provinces over here is just because I need to have 40 provinces in total, and these are just some of the easiest ones to grab. And bop. Well, it looks like I'm just about out of manpower, so let's go ahead and hire a company. Okay, Atcha has been cleaned up. He's gonna give me some money as well, and clear out his alliances. I may or may not be back for him, who knows. Well, there we go. Just finished up our war with Kelantan then, so we can get started with Delhi. Alright, clean those guys up, just have to occupy their provinces. After this, our next conquest will be a subjugation CB against Indrapura, and I'll take this one province from Palembang, which will let me grab a claim over here, so then I'll declare on Sunda, and probably Sambas as well at some point. Then from there Brunei, and of course this province over here. Ooh, this is a great event actually. For just 28 ducats I can grab a little bit of manpower. That's a good deal. I mean, it's not much manpower, but it's better than having 0. So there goes Patani, which will also give me 10% morale of armies, and that'll be pretty useful against nations like Brunei, since I can only, land so many men at once. And here we are, done with Delhi as well. Of course, I'll go ahead and concentrate this development, then I'll hand it all off to my subject here, and then I'll concentrate the dev again. So that'll give me 2 more CBs against Indrapura and Palembang. But I'm actually waiting to grab a claim on this one province, so while we wait for that, I'm gonna go ahead and take some land back. Anyway, off to war again. Finally, Miltech 4. This'll make things a little easier for us. Man, I'm getting some pretty bad RNG right here. Which is especially bad when you're trying to do a quick sort of game. Every now and then I like to calculate the chances of how unlucky I get on sieges. And if you're wondering, that one was about a 1.8% chance of lasting this long. So yeah, that's pretty great. And we can finally say that it is all over. The only thing I have to do right now is grab a claim on Sambas. I do have to wait about 1 year though, because I'm going to start integration of my subject here as soon as possible, and then right after I'm going to declare another war. Now this next one will probably be against Sambas and his allies, which will allow me to take multiple provinces from Majapahit. So if I do everything correctly, I should be able to form Malaya with just enough provinces. But of course we'll find out. Okay, well I need to grab this claim pretty quick, so I'm actually going to peace out right now. I will actually be taking all of Palembang. Hey there, editing Quarbit here. You're about to see me do something incredibly stupid, which I have no idea why I actually did now that I think about it. For some reason I must have thought that you can only get a claim while being at peace, while not thinking about the fact that I wasn't at war with Sunda in the first place. Ultimately, it doesn't actually do too much to the run, but it does extend it by maybe 1.5 years, so yes, that was incredibly stupid of me. Anyway, back to your usual train wreck. And I may as well pop this right now. I don't imagine it's going to take very long for me to finish this. Well damn, it looks like Sunda's gone ahead and joined the coalition, so while it can't exactly declare on me right now, I'm probably going to have to declare on Sunda, which means this might take a little longer to integrate. Well, let's do it then. Of course that means I'll go ahead and take this as well. Ooh, wait a second. Sunda's got a heavy, that's kind of worrying. There we go, my subject came in clutch with the extra galleys, so I think we should be okay. Looks like everything's gonna work out though. Okay, let's start by smashing his army now that we've landed. Looks like my young sultan has died, unfortunately. He was pretty good, so I'm a little upset, but the sultana is fairly good and very young, so hopefully she lasts long enough. They're like little cockroaches scurrying around. God, just die already, please. Finally. It took 5 battles to get rid of those guys. Sheesh. Now I really cannot be bothered to go to these guys over here, it's really just a massive waste of resources, so I'm gonna go ahead, take a bunch of money, and these 5 provinces over here. So it looks like these guys are forming a coalition. There are literally only 4 tags which can at this point, but that's actually okay, because I plan to attack this guy for his little piece of land down here, and when I do that, that'll bring in Brunei, who I'll steal this province from, and then we might not even have to worry about Kutai, Sambas, or Majapahit. So there we go, we'll start annexation of this guy. It might take around 7 or so years, but if at any point I don't have overextension, then that'll obviously be faster. Alright, the claim on Makassar is ready, so let's get started. We can also just go ahead and grab Tech 5 here, which will give us a little bit of infantry shock. There we go, cleaned up Brunei over here. And one last battle should do it. There we go. The revolts, well, that should be no problem because I brought more mercs down here for that reason. There we go. And of course the next step is going to be landing. Not sure if we're gonna win this, but I hope so. And yeah, oddly enough, they didn't even try to stop me for some reason. Okay. Look at Brunei trying to do something cheeky. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. Thanks for the naval tradition, though. So from Brunei, I will take his capital, all of his money, and some war reps. And from Makassar will simply be his capital. I guess I could pillage it as well. Yep, works for me. Now there is just one problem, and that is how catastrophic it would be if Champa were to join this coalition, because they're also a tributary of Ming, meaning they can attack me. So I'm going to give them a little bit of money as a sort of kindly screw off kind of payment. That means we can just go ahead and take our claims. I thought I was going to have to fight these guys, so I made another merc stack, but I guess I won't have to. And this might be a little annoying, so we're going to send these guys from here into here. And there we are. If I decide to wait a little while longer, I can just go with full annexation, so I think I'll do that. And here we are. That gives us every province we need, and brings us to 35. Now all we have to do is wait a couple of months and we'll be done. And there we are. Integration of our remaining subject, leaving us with our decision to form Malaya. Well, that's not bad, less than 20 years. This is actually my second attempt though. On my first attempt I didn't become a tributary of Ming, and I was also going a lot faster, so that combination of things sort of led to a couple of issues. That's why this is the second attempt. But now we can confirm that Malaya is formable within 20 years. Probably 15, and if you're really good at the game, then maybe even 10. But there we finally have it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know which nation you want to see me form really quickly. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a dislike if you disliked it. This is Quarbit signing off, and as always, have a fantastic day. And just at the end of the video, I would like to give a massive thank you to all of the wonderful people over at Patreon for the month of May. Starting in the general tier, we have Quiet Guy, Brennan Arsenault, Ben Greenhagen, Torvald, Dire Avenger, and Farron. In the Prince tier, we have Snowraven, Rockbox 2020, Robert Kaleno, and Bouncer Steve. In the King tier, we have Chewy Shoot and Natsuki. In the Elector tier, we have TFLJ Martis. And in the Conqueror of Worlds tier, we have The Watcher. Thank you guys so much for your pledges this month, it means a lot to me. And I truly just cannot thank you enough.